Does balancing your hormones mean that you have to go on a restrictive diet, cut out carbs, or take a bunch of supplements? Let's clear up what's actually true so that you can honor your body without feeling overwhelmed. Hi, welcome back to the She Is Well podcast. I'm your host, Natalie Trapasso, a registered dietitian who specializes in helping women support their hormones, their energy, and periods in a way that's sustainable. If you've ever felt confused about what balancing your hormones actually requires, you're not alone. Today we're busting 5 common myths that may be keeping you stuck. So myth number 1, birth control balances your hormones. Have you ever gone to the doctor suspecting your hormones are out of balance? You have painful periods or irregular periods and you were just offered birth control? This definitely happened to me more than once. I was offered birth control when I had a fibroadenoma, which is a benign tumor in your breast, and I was told that I probably got the tumor from hormone imbalances, and taking that birth control would help balance them out and prevent me from getting another one in the future. I was offered birth control when I went to the doctor, and I told them I think my hormones are out of balance. I'm sick of dealing with my PMDD, which is a severe form of PMS, and my debilitating periods. I was just sick of it, and I was told to take birth control. Luckily, I did not take birth control in either of those cases because the truth is birth control doesn't balance out your hormones. It's only a Band-Aid solution. Birth control shuts down ovulation and replaces your natural hormone rhythms with synthetic ones to prevent you from getting pregnant. It does not address why your hormones might be out of balance. Like I said, it just masks the symptoms, but it's not really getting to the root of why you have those symptoms in the first place. Birth control can also deplete key nutrients like folate, vitamins B6, B2, vitamin C, vitamin E, and minerals like magnesium, selenium, and zinc. These nutrients play vital roles in so many bodily functions, so we definitely need these nutrients in order to be healthy. So let's just say you're on birth control for years and now you're ready to have a baby, so you come off of birth control. Well, now you have all of these nutrient deficiencies. You've been pumping your body with synthetic hormones for years, so it might be difficult for you because your body has to get used to not getting those synthetic hormones. It has to get its natural hormone rhythms back to normal, and now you have all these vitamin and mineral deficiencies, which are key for making your hormones. I also do think that there's better ways to prevent pregnancy naturally, like tracking your cycle or using other forms of birth control that don't mess with your hormones. Tracking my cycle allowed me to really understand what was going on with my body. It helped me learn a lot more about my body, and then when I was ready to get pregnant, it happened on my first try. But basically, if you're struggling with heavy periods or painful cycles, it's worth looking into the root cause of why you're having those symptoms instead of just taking birth control to slap a Band-Aid on those symptoms. Because again, it's only going to mask the symptoms. And then once you come off of it, a lot of times when women come off of birth control, they end up having the same issues, and a lot of times even worse, because now you depleted a bunch of key nutrients in your body. Myth number 2 is you have to go on a restrictive diet to balance your hormones. You have to cut out gluten, dairy, and carbs to balance out your hormones. Have you ever heard this one? When I first started researching hormones, this one came up a lot, but the truth is extreme diets often increase stress on your body, which can worsen hormone imbalances. Cortisol, or your stress hormone, impacts basically all of your other hormones. It impacts its insulin, your thyroid hormone, it cuts off your progesterone, and your hormones are like dominoes. So if one gets thrown off, they all could get thrown off. Just again, making your hormone imbalances and your symptoms so much worse. So if you're doing these extreme diets or cutting out entire food groups, your hormones can seriously suffer. Your body needs enough energy and enough nutrients to produce hormones and maintain balance in your body. Carbs help your body ovulate. Dairy can be a great source of calcium and protein. And unless you're intolerant to gluten, it's really not necessary to give it up. I mean, some people definitely do struggle with digesting gluten, but you need to listen to your own body. It's not just a blanket statement that everybody needs to cut out gluten. Plus, if you're stressing about eating these foods, like if you're stressing about every single ingredient that you're putting into your body, because it's really hard to cut out entire food groups, especially if you have a family or you live a really busy life. You're just increasing your stress more, which again can impact your hormones in a really negative way. So instead, we want to focus on nourishment, not restriction. Focus on building balanced meals with protein, fiber, healthy fats, and carbs. Eat enough consistently throughout the day to support your metabolism and your hormones. Listen to your body. So if you really do have a problem with eating certain foods, definitely listen to your body. That again, God designed our bodies in a way to tell us when something's not right. So definitely listen to your body, but just don't stress out about it. If you're not having issues with a certain food, it's okay to eat that food. Focus more, again, on nourishing, building the balanced meals, and eating whole foods most of the time. And this is going to be way more important and way more impactful than being restrictive ever will be. Last week's episode, I talked all about how to build balanced meals for your hormones. So you definitely want to check that episode out if you haven't yet, because it is so helpful. I tell you exactly what you should be eating to balance out your hormones. Myth number 3, your hormones are only off if your period is irregular. This one is definitely not true. And again, something that I was told I have PMS or PMDD, and that means that my hormones are working properly. And that's actually not true. Again, God designed our body to give us symptoms when something is off. Hormone imbalances can show up in different ways, not just irregular periods. They can show up as fatigue, mood swings, sleep issues, stubborn weight gain, not just, again, those irregular cycles. When I started balancing out my hormones, there were things that I didn't even know were tied to my hormones, like daily headaches. Literally every single day I had a headache, and very, very frequent stomach issues. Like all of the time I had these things going on, and I didn't even know they were related to my hormones. My husband used to make fun of me all the time, like, what is it today, Natalie, a headache or a stomach ache or both? But they went away when I started balancing out my hormones. And my periods were pretty regular, actually. I would get them every single month. They were just very painful, and I had really bad PMDD. So if I listened to this myth, I would have never taken the steps to balance out my hormones, and I wouldn't be here today. So if something feels off, listen to your body, pay attention, and start doing the steps to support your hormones. Myth number 4, and actually this is the last myth that we have today. So I think I said we had 5, but we only have 4 today. You need to take a lot of supplements to fix your hormones. How many supplements have you bought just to feel like they do nothing for you, just to feel like you just wasted all of your money on all of these supplements? You have a cabinet full of supplements that you never even use. I know I used to do that all the time, thinking that a supplement was going to be some cure or the thing that I was missing. But the truth is, supplements are here to supplement. If you don't have the foundations in place, they're really not going to do much for you. Your foundations should be balancing out your meals to support your blood sugar and your gut health, focusing on getting good quality sleep, managing your stress. Supplements won't fix these underlying bad habits if you don't do those steps. Like I said, they're really not going to do much. So get the foundations down first, and if you still need it, then you can supplement. But you can't out supplement a bad diet or a bad lifestyle, unfortunately. I think a lot of the time, these common myths when it comes to hormone balance, all they do is overcomplicate things. I know I was put off for a long time from ever getting started because I thought I had to overhaul my whole life. I had to give up all of my favorite foods and do all these crazy things to balance out my hormones. But once I did my own research and I realized what actually mattered, it was just simplifying things, getting back to the basics. Simplicity is okay. We don't have to overcomplicate things. We don't have to overcomplicate our healing. Psalm 139:14 says, I praise you, for I am fearfully and wonderfully made. Wonderful are your works. My soul knows it very well. God intentionally designed our bodies well, with symptoms and rhythms and hormones that give our body clues when things are off balance. Sometimes we just need to stop overcomplicating things, stop listening to everyone on TikTok, and just start doing the foundations that support our body, things that you know are going to be helpful. If this helped you today, you could like and subscribe on YouTube and share it with somebody who you think it might help. I would so appreciate it. Thank you so much for being here and tuning in today. Until next week, I hope you have the best day ever. Bye.